Hi, Michael Phoenix here. We're outside in beautiful Midland, enjoying the sunshine.
This is Michael Skye.
Where'd you go?
Michael's 6'6",
Seven.
6'7", and I'm about 6'4", as you can see. But we're just talking about some of the work we plan on. You can see the shadow of the laptop there. We're talking about some of the work we're going to do at the summit, the VisionForce Summit in Sedona, and okay, and something that we're probably going to spend up to 2 days on. It'll probably be the Thursday and Friday. It's a really big idea, or it's several really big ideas. One of them is VisionForce as an organization or as an entity being one, like a kind of a response team that anyone around the world can call upon in a time of need, or in a time of desire, for whatever reason. Like you might call on a team of superheroes to come in. Yeah. And basically a kind of ad hoc collection of visionaries. What I mean by a visionary is simply someone who's standing for something, and based on their stand and their path, they can see something possible for humanity and all of us because of the path that they're walking. Visionaries with different skill sets and strengths and abilities, for people who are well practiced in realms of human development and spirituality and leadership and so on and so forth. There's got a bit of a smirk going on there, Mike. What's that about?
I was just enjoying the conversation. Just the idea of being involved and engaging with people who are like really, truly, authentically standing powerfully in the world, and standing united together.
Yeah, awesome. So imagine, so there's a conflict in the Middle East, or there's, something going on, and people can actually call in a team of people with really unique and diverse skills and abilities to transcend conflict and barriers that many people can't currently get beyond. Blend that with another thing we talked about at the summit 5 years ago. This was at Jim Channon's place on the Big Island, and we were at his kind of command outpost in his tropical oasis, and it was on one of the breaks, and Keith and I were talking about people who have a gift to give and want to make a difference in the world that's bigger than any job description, that doesn't fit neatly inside of the box of any kind of job. And so thinking about like creating our own resumes or profiles, almost like you might create a profile for a certain kind of superhero or sports star or anything. Here are their strengths, their weaknesses, their abilities, their experiences, so on and so forth. So that's another component to the idea here. And then add that to how I've been living my life and how I've seen other people living the past several years. There's a lot of people right now, and a lot of young people traveling the world, visiting intentional communities, getting different kinds of trainings from different elders in different communities, at the same time cross-pollinating those communities and honing their skills and sharing their gift in preparation for being able to give their gift in an even bigger way, make even more of a difference. Some people are actually having that funded by gifting models. There's a Turkish woman I know a little bit through the internet and through a Charles Eisenstein support community, and she's been funding her journey by the contributions of others, much as I have been over the past couple years. And so there's some real clear models that actually work to have people. People have been gifting me and her and other people money, resources, trainings, simply because they believe in who we are, simply because they want to encourage our path, because they're inspired by how we're living, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's another component of this bigger idea I'm talking about. So I'm looking at having VisionForce. The past 5 years, VisionForce has kind of morphed into something where it's about supporting people who are taking a stand in the world, who might not have access to the allies, to the financial resources, to trainings and things like this, because the path that they're on is either so revolutionary, so visionary, so out of the box, so different, that there's just not funding models. The normal ways of supporting people like that just don't work, and are limiting. So what I'm, right now, currently, we've got some visionaries profiled on the VisionForce site, and what I'm excited to try out for myself and for other people who are interested. I talked to Thad about this. He's very interested. On the VisionForce site, actually being able to profile these people with their strengths and their skill sets, and make it possible for other people who come to the site to invite these people into their world. I'll give you an example. Thad Crouch, he supports conscientious objectors around the world. Basically, soldiers or people who wear a uniform and are sworn to protect and serve, who then receive orders which violate their conscience. So now there's a conflict between the oath they've sworn, which is aligned with their heart, and the orders they're receiving. And these people often face the wrath and the punishment and the criticism of their society and the system that they're in. He goes around and he supports many of the conscientious objectors like this, but he relies on whatever kind of funding that he can get, and people give him stuff, people support him, they see how much he's sacrificing, how much he's doing for these people, and they're inspired. But what if that was more formalized, so that someone like Thad could just focus 100% of his time on giving his gift, on going in and in essence kind of rescuing or supporting these conscientious objectors who are standing for peace, who are standing for creating a beautiful world. What if that was like logistically and strategically really possible? And so I'm looking to actually do some work and workshops and set this up for people in a practical way, so we can play with this and experiment with this, and be funded to go and give our gifts really big in the world. Michael?
Well, I felt excitement when you were talking about that, being able to go places to stand with soldiers who have their conscience speaking to them in ways that is like they don't know what to do with it. That's something that I've experienced in my own life, and I went with what my conscience said, but the idea that there's someone out there in the world who is standing with and for, in very bold ways, the soldiers who feel that that idea in me resonates very deeply, and I'm just considering all the other areas that are out there that I'm not personally related to, that there's stands that
where someone's taking a stand,
right,
and they need support, they need allies, they need people to stand with them,
right.
And it's you could probably see it on our faces. It is freezing here in Michigan. There's snow on the ground. Sun's just gone behind the building, but I'm interested in doing real work to actually set this up at the VisionForce Summit in Sedona. If this conversation inspires you, it doesn't matter if we've never met, get in contact with us. You're welcome, you're invited. Come and play. Going back inside.